Welcome everybody to another edition of Boston Concessions. I am your host, Topher. Oh, man, what a week. What a weekend. What a week stuff. Oh, again, all episodes of Boston Concessions are brought to you by a small state big network, SSBN. The boys down in Rhode Island are the bomb. I miss them. I really do. So just want to give like a courtesy heads up. We did have a wonderful plethora amount of stuff going on. We had the Bruins play tonight. We had the Celtics play tonight. And we also had the Red Sox, the friggin' Patriots. What is wrong with me? We had the Patriots play on Monday night. And we're going to get into a lot of that game because there's a lot of things I want to cover. And a lot of things I'm also going to bring up. But besides that, let's tick back like a little bit because I'm going to go over the Bruins really quick. Bruins had a secondary game against the Red Wings. They end up dropping this one 5-4. Just didn't really look like a great game. Detroit basically went up 2 and then capitalized all over the place. Now, I know I haven't talked a lot about the Bruins. And I know at some point we're going to go into a lot of Bruins talk. And I know everybody wants to hype up, oh man, like, they were on a win streak. They're doing this. They're doing this. They're having like their day. I'm not buying into Marco Sturm. Do you remember him making his little comment? Oh, you're either buying in or you're not. Marco, I'm not buying it. There's something about it. Either it's the flavor of the water or you had like a nice little streak. But there's just something about it that makes me scream, you're not getting a lot out of the players yet. And you can see it. But the other thing is you can also see players that are gassed. They don't seem right. They don't seem like on their edge. They don't seem like they want to be in the mix. And that's been a coaching problem for a little bit of a while now. So if anybody wants to buy into the Marco Sturm voodoo that he do, no, sorry. I'm not buying it. And the reason why I'm not buying it is because there's something about Marco Sturm that I just don't like. There's something on edge that makes me scream, decent player, not the proper proprietor of a coach. Now, he can schmooze the young kids. That's fine. And Pastrnak, of course, is going to be Pastrnak, and everybody else is basically going to make their flow and their mumbo jumbo, but you still don't have a proper defense. You haven't put forth for a proper defense. Your goalies are getting lit up like Christmas trees. Okay? The offense is warm again, cold again, warm again. I haven't seen it hot. Now, Morgan Geeky's making strides. For what you're seeing out of not just Morgan Geeky, what you're also seeing out of David Pastrnak, that is to be expected. Okay? Like, that's fine. You've got 27 games played, and looking at Morgan Geeky's stats, he's got 20 goals, 6 assists, he's got 26 points. But his plus and minus is still a -7. Look, I don't care how many goals you score. I don't care how many assists you make. When one of your top guys, who's under 30, mind, is a -7 for the year, great, cool. He scores goals. Congratulations. We've made something happen. But you know what you're also creating? Issues where they're not stopping the puck. If this dude is a -7, I'm really like scared to like look at the other guys on the friggin' team. You know, it really worries me because why? Because this is how like all the goals are like getting scored. Anybody figure that out? No? Oh, hey. I'm like actually looking it up now. I want to see plus minus. Oh, look at that. David Pastrnak, -8. Pavel Zakin, -6. Charlie McAvoy's -2. Elias Lindholm, -2. Esteban, -7. Victor Adamson, he's a 1. Mason Lorelei, he's a 1. Fraser Minton, he's a 2. Zadorov, he's a 2. You mean to tell me that this team, doing for everything it's doing, you have so many players that are negative? Oh, come on now. See, I can buy into if you're working, what your expectation is. Putting the best foot forward, giving the team like a little bit of a heave-ho, making things exactly what they need to be, which is, well, grinding the best out of the players. But when I'm looking at the standings, you're 15-13. Okay? Your last 10, you're 4-6. Your difference is you're -4. You have more goals against you than you have for you. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm seeing. Okay? Because when you're looking at the points totals, the Lightning have 34. You have 30. The Canadians have 29. The Senators and Red Wings just broke the 30-point mark. If you can't understand that these teams are chopping at your bits and they're going to knock you down, you need a reality check, because especially with what happened last night, playing Detroit, you should have walked them in the park. You did the other night. This was like a secondary game. This was a 1-2. Okay, it was 5-4, and then you had a final in a shootout on Saturday. That if I'm looking at this, Swayman looked good, but then you put him in again? Like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Why? What broke? What happened? Where'd it go wrong? See, these are questions I ask. Because I ask those questions because I want to see exactly, hey, why did you make the decision to have your goalie who played a Saturday game, Sunday, Monday, and then go in on Tuesday, stone cold? Doesn't seem like a good thing to me. But now that we've actually dropped 10 minutes on that, I'll make the assumption right away as I adjust my camera really quick, because I didn't know sitting back in my chair was going to do what I was going to do. All right. Bottom line of this, okay, anybody can say and do what they want and how they want. But when I'm looking at this, I don't believe in the coach. I've stated it when he was hired. I think it's a joke. I don't think it's a right fit. And unless this year is exactly what it needs to be, which is a walk in the park blowout. Okay, because a lot of these players, especially the young kids are showing what they can do. We already knew that was going to happen. But taking someone like Marco Sturm is not going to elevate this team to be a strong capita. He is not Mike Vrabel. Okay? You can even see it in his press conferences where the man talks very monotone, and it makes you seem... How do you get motivated by that? Does anybody else feel motivated by Marco Sturm and his, oh, we got to do this. Oh, you're either in or you're out. It's you're with us or you're against us. What type of following do you guys have if you're not with us? I'm with the Bruins, buddy. I just don't believe in you. Okay? I didn't have a strong probable cause when you were a player. I now don't have that much of a probable cause as you're a coach. Okay? That's like people saying Mike Milbury was going to be the coach of all coaches. He was decent. He could barely get a lot of people motivated. And he had some great conversations. But here's the one thing I will say about Mike Milbury that reminds me of Marco Sturm. He is very opinionated to himself, and it doesn't seem like a proper fit for Boston. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. I don't care how you fit it. I don't care how you see it. I just don't see the vibe. Okay? Like, Monty understood it. Cassidy understood it. Hell, I even saw what's his face before, like, that we won the cup with. Those made sense. Why? Because they had coaching feeling that pushed everything towards building people up. I don't see Marco Sturm in that role. Okay? If this is a Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, hey, let's just get our friend a job, schmucks. I said it during the press conferences. I don't believe in Don Weenie Sweeney at all. Do I believe in Marco Sturm? Hell no. Am I starting to lose faith in Cam Neely? Yes. That should tell you something about this team. I don't care if you're in second place. You still have a lot of hockey to go. And where you have a lot of hockey to go, there is nothing that is going to sit there and make me feel to the fact that you are going to go somewhere and do a song and dance and make everything work. But there is one thing I will say. I made a comment a while back, and one of the comments I made was, who's going to have the worst year out of the Boston teams? Is it going to be the Bruins? Is it going to be the Celtics? Well, I'm looking at the Celtics, and I was just looking at the Bruins. Let me tell you something, at least like a little bit flat up. Okay? The Bruins, when I'm looking at their standings, they are second in the Atlantic. But as far as points, the Hurricanes, the Devils, the Capitals, the Penguins, the Flyers, the Islanders, all in the Metropolitan Division of the Eastern Conference, they're better than them. Oh wait, then you have the Red Wings, the Senators, they're tied the same points because the Bruins are right there. The Canadians are on their tails. Well, why are the Bruins so high? Well, they've played 28 games. Everybody else has played like 26, 25. These teams have more points than the Bruins. The only difference is the Bruins have played more games. Now, if you put the Senators with 2 more games and they get 2 more points, 3 more points, guess what? Boing! They're higher than the Bruins. What does that mean? They suck. But for now, they are second in the Atlantic. Atlantic. I hope I said that right. I just thought about it. I'm going to review this and be like, oh God, what did I just say? So I'm looking at this. If the playoffs started right now, you'd probably take the top 4 teams, okay, from the Atlantic and the Metropolitan. So you'd be Lightning, Bruins, Canadiens, Senators. Then you'd have the Hurricanes, Devils, Capitals, Penguins. So that's 4 and 4. Do you make the playoffs? Yeah. Okay, so you're at least in there. Now, let's kick over to the Celtics. They are 12 and 9. They're 5 games back from the Pistons. Yeah. The conference, they are 9 and 6. At home, they're 7 and 4. Away, 5 and 5. Their past 2, they won. Last 10, 7 and 3. At least they're going in a positive direction. But let's review this a little bit more. They are 8th in the Eastern Conference Finals right now. Well, Eastern Conference. Not just the Finals, the Eastern Conference. Okay? They are in East Group B. They have done 4 games in the NBA Cup. They are 2 and 2. The Magic are 4 and 0. The Raptors are 4 and 0. The Spurs are 3 and 1. The Lakers are 4 and 0. The Thunder are 4 and 0. So I don't really see them making a gauntlet for the NBA Cup. Ooh. But when I look at the Celtics in 8th place, right now, my prediction for who was basically going to be the worst team out of them both, right now the Celtics are looking worse for wear than the Bruins are. I'll say it, I thought the Celtics were at least going to carry a little bit, get some positivity within the guys they got, and out of everything that they were doing, I really thought that the Bruins were going to kind of flop. But the year is still young. There are 28 games played in the NHL. It's out of 80-something games, so you've got plenty of hockey. And it's the same thing with the Celtics. You got 82 games. Well, you're 12 and 9. You played 21. You got a little bit more to go. I mean, the Celtics could go up. The Celtics could go down. Same thing with the Bruins. They could actually take hold of where the Lightning are. They could actually drop completely down to where my expectation was. And the Celtics aren't blowing games badly. You know, I mean, they're only 5 back. There is a possibility throughout the whole year. But looking at their games, 123-117 against the Knicks, 117-115 against the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers are higher than them. So that just screams that. Timberwolves winning by 4, 119-115. NBA Cup, well, the Celtics beating the Pistons, 117-114. There you go. Celtics hinging the Magic, 138-129. That was on the 23rd. The Nets beating the Celtics with the group stage of the NBA Cup, 113-105. Celtics beat the Nets, of course, 2 games prior, 113-99. They have their connection. They have what they're flowing with. And the guys really aren't doing that bad. I mean, Jaylen Brown is making statements. He's got 25 points average, 6 rebounds, 4.8 assists. His field goals are just shy of 50. So Jaylen Brown is making a strong difference. Anthony Simmons, on the other hand, he's a good role player for what it is. 13.6 points per game. On average, 2.1 rebounds. 45.2% on the field goal. You know, and then you got to look at Derek White. 16.3 points, 3.9 rebounds a game. For a little guy, that's impressive. Because Anthony Simons is taller than him. And Derek White, as bald as he is, pulls down more boards. That, to me, that just makes me laugh. Okay? He's got 5.1 assists and 37% in field goals. That's low for him. Field to the fact that he could be doing better. Peyton Pritchard, the man who was supposed to step up, he's another one. 4.3 rebounds, 17.1 points a game, 4.7 assists, 45.2% field goals. He's making his presence known. That's fantastic. Hugo Gonzalez. Let's not talk about him. Luka Garza. 6.5 points, 3.8 rebounds. Nemesis Queta. 9.7 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. 65.6 field goal percentage. You know that man isn't shooting from 3. Because that's a good thing, especially if you're getting in there. Josh Minot's not doing bad. 7.4 points, 5 rebounds, 1.2 assists. He's got 50%. That's better for shooting. Jordan Walsh is 51.4%. It's got to be the years. 5.5 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 1.1 assists. So, you know that some of these guys are not making a very big splash within what they're doing. But there's something that is driving the team to be better. It just needs to be shown a little bit more than 8th place. You know, you are the Boston Celtics. You have to get your groove in. You have to you have to basically get a little bit more work in to make do for being on top. You don't go from being deep in the playoffs to garbage because your top guy is out. No, step up. Show your guy you can play the ball. Show your guy that you are a supporting role where you need to be. That's what the Celtics need to do. And for whatever reason, okay, Joe Mazzulla needs to kind of pull back. And like I'm talking about like earlier games, because when I'm seeing like 40, 50, 60 threes per game, listen, I'm magical when you hit a 3. I go ballistic. It feels good. It feels great. It makes you feel all warm and squishy. Let me tell you, it's a great feeling. You know what's not a great feeling? Bong. When you miss the basket. Bong. You make it bounce. Bong. That is not something positive. That's not anything I want to see. That's not anything anybody else wants to see. So, when you're shooting up 40, 50 threes a game, and you blow it, come on. I think the aspect that I've at least understood with Missoula ball is it is not for everybody. And not only to the fact that it's not for everybody, but there needs to be some give and take where you know you're cold as ice from the outside. You need to dish. You need to dunk. You need to get the ball in the paint and score. You need to make things happen. Yes, there are wonderful scenes that I've seen that, like, you know, people are doing amazing things. Stealing the ball, getting good passes. But what is that doing to get you a win? 3 balls not going in are not going to get you a win. However, if you're down by 10 and you make 2 baskets, a definite. 2 baskets, a definite. Another 2 baskets, a definite. That's 6 points. I just got you back up by 4. Or back up, down by only 4. But if you're down by 10 and you're going down and it's, I'm going to shoot a 3. Dong. Well, that didn't go in. Hey, let me shoot again. Dong. Hey, the team just went down and scored a 3-pointer. Guess what? Now they're up by 13. Oh, they dished in the inside and like got a 2-point. Oh, now they're up by 15. The game can switch. And I think Missoula needs to focus with that. He needs to understand that. He needs to make more value without those 3s. There needs to be a little bit more getting facilitated to the underneath. A 2 ball works just as good. It's just minus 1 point, but that's it. If I make 5 buckets, 10 points. If I make 5 threes, it's 15 points. So you only go up by 5 extra. But what happens when you're missing those? You shoot 5 shots. You go 5 for 5. On the inside of the 3-point line, you're up 10 points. You go 3 for 5. You're at 9 points. You're still down by 1. There's a mixture of what you can see and what you need. And the Celtics, I'm hoping they start to climb the standings. Okay, because my personal bet, with the Bruins doing worse off for wear, there's still a possibility that both teams can actually switch. But for now, the Celtics are taking the heat. And I'm not talking about the team. But they are basically looking like the worst team right now. And to go from where they were to where they are now, I'm not impressed. The Bruins, on the other hand, still do not impress me no matter what. I'm still seeing a lack of something. I swear I want to throw a pie at the next person. Oh, a Jeremy Swayman. Dude. The defense plays piss poor. The defense does not hold their own. Because, you know something? Korpisalo and Swayman are damn good goalies. Both of them are damn good goalies. So when you get both of them that are basically crapping an egg because their defense can't get the puck out of the zone, can't get their own way, can't get stuff going, are throwing minuses all over the place, then yes, don't expect me to point to Jeremy Swayman. Don't expect me to point to Jonas Korpisalo. I'm going to look at the defense because you are not guarding your goalies as you need to. That's it. First 30 minutes of the show, congratulations. We just covered the Bruins. We covered the Celtics. I feel better about myself, and I don't know why. But to give you the little bit of the headline, Bruins drop it 5-4 against the Red Wings. They're now 15-13 on the year. Jeremy Swayman letting 5 goals against. looking a little sloppy at the Little Caesars Arena. He didn't have no pizza, but Korpisalo came in with 9 for 9 stops. Well, what does that mean? Korpisalo could have been the hot hand for the night. Hey, I wonder who that's to blame on. Celtics, though, in their game, taking care of the Knicks. 123-117. As we go, Jaylen Brown, 42 points, 4 assists. Followed up by Derek White with 22 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. See, it's nice when you look at Jaylen Brown, he's got a plus-minus of 15. You know, Derek White, plus-minus of 10. Peyton Pritchard, he's even. Got that 0. And that's great. That's what you want. You know? It's just really something about, like, you know, what you look at on the almighty stage. Because you see things like this.
And they rally to the football there and just don't give up anything.
Number 8 defense in the league. Coming into week 13, Gillen hits it. And the return by Marcus Jones. He can fly. Still going. Still going. No flags. Touchdown, Patriots. He had a pick 6 last week. And a man who is a threat, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams, goes 94 yards for the touchdown.
Joe, all those years under.
That's a game changer. As you show right there. That is a huge game changer. Marcus Jones basically made everything. And I texted a friend, and what was the question I asked? Hey, who has more touchdowns, Marcus Jones or Stephon Diggs? It's actually true. Marcus Jones actually has more touchdowns. Offense, defense, and special teams. It's the MJ of our generation. Probably not. But what's the bonus of like something like Marcus Jones? Well, there is a huge bonus. When you're doing offense and then you're also doing defense the way he is, like Joe Buck said, the last game, he had a pick 6. Just pick and run. Was a beautiful, beautiful aspect. What's the benefit of it? When you take players like Marcus Jones, you're going to see a lot of positivity, whether it be on the defensive side, whether it be on special teams, whether they add him in a little bit of offense. You know, there's always going to be positives that you'll basically break through and run with. In a literal sense. But Patriots, Patriots doing their thing again against the Giants. Now, I didn't pull any of the, you know something, I might even do it beforehand. I might do it on like a secondary thing, like, you know something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at what I can find between it. Because one of the things is like, there were so many. There were so many comments. There were so many things that people just had to say something. And I'm getting the point where, is it sour? Maybe. Is it something that people aren't taking seriously? Okay? Like here's Here's, of course, one of the things I'll even drop. This is Pat McAfee talking about Jackson Dart, and I'll show the play as well.
Last night. Guy already has, like, I don't know how many concussions.
4 or 5.
He comes out after the game and he says, this isn't soccer, you're going to get hit. And I like to let Jackson know, hey, we respect that. This is actually football, which is a multi-billion-dollar business. And the entire billion-dollar business is built around the goddamn quarterback. So we need you to play football. I think all anybody is trying to say to you is, we respect and appreciate your toughness. This is football. Football is a tough sport. But football also revolves around the quarterback. And if the quarterback's there, team normally in a much better place than if quarterback's not there. Andrew Luck was like this. Patrick Mahomes is playing like this this year. Joe Burrow plays like this. Carson Wentz, obviously. They feel like they're disrespecting football if they kind of take the easy way out and don't get hit. And they think their teammates, I think, won't respect them if they don't take hits.
When they don't get their next contract because they're never available, they'll figure it out. You got to step out of bounds. This is national football. This isn't Pee Wee. You got to show you're tough in Pee Wee football. This is the NFL. Quarterbacks are paid zillions of dollars. Your whole team, your whole city, your whole franchise depends on you to not be a damn idiot. Step out of bounds. You're not going to be there.
He gets laid out last night. Guy already.
That man not only having like a really, really great hat makes a valid point. You're paid to lead a team. You're the leader, the quarterback. You are the controlling factor of what your team is doing. And to Jackson Dart, in his whole piece, this is the whole play. And I'll tell you my thoughts and theories on it in a moment.
Commanders showed what kind of competitors they are last night in that thriller on Sunday Night Football. Dart's going to go and gets popped on the sideline, and we're going to get a fight. Christian Ellis delivered the hit, and these two teams are going at each other.
Tell you what, Joe, I know they're going at it, but it looked to me like it was a legal hit. And it's just Dart trying to get a little bit extra, and you know he has to protect.
Little extra, a lot of extra.
And he's a target. Take a closer look at it. There's a look at Ellis.
Before I play this, I do want to tell you. There are times where if you know out of your peripheral, especially as a quarterback, if you're going to get popped that badly, don't fight for the yard or two. I mean, yeah, you could have spun. You could have let him go by. You could have at least done a move. You could have slid. These are things that Jackson Dart is not doing. And this is where Pat McAfee is making that comment. And especially his side guy is making at least that push. You know, and the reason I'm bringing this up, I'll mention in a moment. Trust me, I won't leave you guys in suspense.
Once he gets outside the pocket here, this is in real speed.
See, right there. I apologize for anybody listening to this on Spotify, but if you go on YouTube, you'll actually see the video. Right there, where he decides to cut back. He could have made a football move and completely ignored Ellis. Or you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll probably get 4 yards before the first down. I'd rather that than verify to the fact if I'm going to be injured. What are you doing? If I'm a Giants fan, even if it's Drake May knows he's got a guy coming. Nope. Slide. Know where a soft hit is. Know where a hard hit is. Ellis coming across the field. Now, mind you, this is going to be a hit. But they got the play right. And every single time I see somebody that is not a Patriots fan, is not... The only thing I have... You know, that was an illegal hit. Really? Why do the flags go for the guy that caused a fight after he hit his quarterback? Maybe because his quarterback became a runner? Maybe because he was alive. Maybe because instead of stepping out of bounds, if I was also Jackson Dart, I really wanted to be smart, I would have made the step out of bounds. Had Jackson Ellis hit me, penalty. Would have got more yards. It's called for smarts. But then again, people with us say, "Oh, he's a rookie." Yeah, these are veteran things. But the hits, they could have did without this.
Oh. Yeah, Troy, you're 100% right. He's in bounds. When he's contacted, that's a legal hit. And to your...
You know what actually made him tumble? If you notice the giant friggin' chain from like 1995 calling, wanting their status quo back. Dude, why are you wearing that much bling? Like, first off, you play for the Giants. Secondly, you're not Joe Burrow. Third, you're a rookie, my guy. The way that man was hit, that luggage on his neck makes him twist and twirl as he gets popped. That's a beautiful freaking. Like, watch it again because you'll see the chain by the neck, and it comes out just as he's hit, and you see it shake, and it kind of like shifts over, making his whole head kind of weeble and wobble and just make him fall down. There it is. There's the chip.
Yeah, Troy, you're 100% right. He's in bounds. When he's contacted, that's a legal hit. And to your point, Troy,
he was also trying to figure out what the hell happened.
He's got to get out of bounds before that.
Like the first thing also when you're watching that, Ellis is making the hit. Good hit. Jackson Dart doesn't even watch him. There are no eyeballs on Ellis. He is looking at the first down marker, he's looking at the yardage that he's doing, and he's trying to make the first down. If you get that close to being out of bounds, what are you doing? I can understand why Giants fans are pissed. I can understand why football people are pissed. Fantasy football guys would be like screaming at the bit. Why? This man is going to get injured again. He's already on the road of Robert Griffin III or Tua Tagovailoa with the concussion protocol 9000. Okay? You're going to see the movie Concussed. Tua Tagovailoa, Jackson Dart. They'll be starring in it. Why? Because these guys are getting walloped. And you can't blame the Patriots. You can't. Even though post-game comments and everything in between are stating to the fact that, like, you know, it's a rough game out there. And the Patriots played physical. Did they? Yep. But what is the sense of like what I'm stating? Because when you watch things and some of the ones you're watching, some of these guys have the idea that, oh, all these hits are illegal. You know, that's the part that gets me a little upset with how I'm watching this. Because this is one of the clearest reasons why. Okay?
Hits it. And the return by Marcus Jones. Hits it.
Why are you showing?
By Marcus Jones.
Why is it showing this?
I don't care when nobody say this is dirty. They hit Jackson Dart late, man. He stepped out of bounds, and they hit him on purpose. They tried to take him up out of here early in the game. I don't care when nobody say this is dirty. Everybody keeps saying this is a clean hit. How is this a clean hit? This is the play right here. I want y'all to look at this whole.
I'll tell this man why it's a clean hit, and the one thing he'll probably say to me, he don't care what nobody say. Here's what I say as a football guy. Okay, I'm not saying it as a New England Patriot. I'm not saying it as, a Giant hater, because I don't hate the Giants. However, I will say it as a football person who loves the game and looks at the rules. First off, every aspect of Jackson Dart is in bounds. Secondly, Jackson Dart did not protect himself. He did not appease to the hit. He didn't focus on the hit. He didn't look at the hit as it was coming his way. He could have avoided the hit. He decided not to. You know how bad that is? That's bad. It's very bad. Okay? You want to talk about Dart taking a dirty hit? That wasn't a dirty hit. Like I made the comment, if he stepped out of bounds and was smart about it before Ellis did it, yes, there would have been flags flying. He would have been out of bounds. And he probably would have got another 15-yard penalty. And Ellis would have been, screamed by Mike Vrabel. Why? Why'd you hit him for? His foot was in bounds when Ellis's shoulder hit his. There was no helmet to helmet. It was a shoulder to shoulder, and it was a bump. Only thing was that sent Jackson Dart flying was his momentum still running forward. He didn't veer out of bounds. He didn't veer in any which way possible. He kept on going straight. He wanted the first down marker. Who's at fault for that? You're going to blame Ellis for making a football move and a football hit on a quarterback that is trying to get more yards and becoming a runner. Come on now, man. Bleacher feed expected better, man. Come on. I know you probably got like some really good stuff, but stuff like that needs to be addressed. It wasn't dirty. I do like this though. The kicker going full Charlie Brown.
All over Dart, and now Dart's about to get hurt. Chill out, Dartsky. The Patriots are all over him, Chad. Look. No! Look. 2nd and 15. They can't do nothing. I got the Patriots tonight. Look at Dart, man. Pray for him. Oh, man. Oh, man. He may just have a concussion already, but he's still playing. No!
What is going on here? I don't think I played the right clip. I don't care.
No! Look at New England.
Yeah, it's for whatever reason, it's not playing the right ones.
All right, well, I don't know if I've ever seen this outside of a Charlie Brown cartoon, so here's the situation.
This was beautiful.
Lining up for a field goal on 4th down and 10, down 10 points, so making it a 7-point game would definitely go a long way against a team that has 5 times your wins at this point for the Giants. The kicker is Younghoe Koo, who got cut from the Falcons earlier this season, trying to find his way back into regular football here with the Giants, and well, this isn't going to help. He just... I don't know what happens here. Ultimately, this goes down as a 13-yard sack. You see that this is just a whiff on it. It kind of stubs his foot into the turf. I'm assuming what happened is that he kind of misjudged where he was trying to kick it. Misjudged where he's trying to stand. He stands a little bit too far. Although I checked over, this is the other extra point that he attempted and made, which is not from too much further of a distance. It seems like his plant foot is down in mostly the same area both times. So I don't fully get what happened here. Ultimately, though, just Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast, and I agree. Just kind of been that season for Young Wei Koo. All right. Well,
the way Fox Show explained that was great. And yes, what happened with that kick? Why? Oh, see, this is also what I'm talking about. But I'll get into that in a second. Bottom line of looking at everything, when you make a kick like that is completely horrendous, you're kicking the ground. Why? What did you do? Why did you do it?
I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. The Patriots are absolutely a Super Bowl contender, dude. They're so well coached. They're so balanced. They're top 10 on both sides of the ball. And it absolutely pisses me off, dude. It makes me so mad that they're good. We went through decades of this franchise running the NFL. 20 years of my life were stolen by this Patriots team. And finally, dude, after my entire life, finally, the Patriots were not good for 5 years. And now they're all the way back. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. They had 5 down years, dude. Life was good. And it's so lame that they're all the way back. It was 20 years of this. 20 years. And now I'm looking at this quarterback and this coach and this team and this organization. I hate this Patriots team so much, dude. I hate this organization. My entire childhood was stolen from me by this Patriots team. And I took a moment last year and I said, man, how great is it that my kid is going to grow up in a world of parity where the Patriots are not running everything. And here we are. If the Patriots win another Super Bowl before the Chargers win a Super Bowl, I hate them.
This is the beauty that I have to move and look at every single time. I know when I was on last, one of the things I said was, when I'm on the can, you scroll through TikTok, you see through a bunch of stuff. This is stuff that I see that make me giggle. There's one reason why I hate the Chiefs. Okay? And it's because Patrick Mahomes is overrated himself. He has always been overrated. He's got everything handed to him. He knows what he's going into. He knows what he's doing. And he's just making a mockery out of a lot of the things. Do I like Patrick Mahomes? No. Do I know he's going to be an MVP person? Yes. Do I know to the fact he's going to be a Hall of Famer? Yes. Do I know that he's going to be doing a lot of other things that he's been doing? Yes. Do I have to like it? No. But then again, I've not really been wrong. One of the other things I made a comment on that broke the aspect was, who's the better New York quarterback this year? Was it going to be Russell Wilson, or was it going to be Justin Fields? Because both of them went to New York teams. Now, as you saw, Russell Wilson did not play for the Giants against the Patriots. Jackson Dart did. And Justin Fields just got benched, I believe, a week ago to see how their secondary quarterback would do. There's something about when I said, when he was on Seattle, Russell Wilson is not a top-tier quarterback. I wasn't kidding. That man went to the Broncos and laid a juicy one. he went to Pittsburgh. He was okay, but he had some weapons to him. But other than that, he was dookie. And I think he got 2 games into the Giants and was like, no, dude. You suck. But out of everything I've heard,
Drake May, it's a different discussion. He looks like he's going to be one of these guys about every 4 years that enters the league and is an all-timer. He just doesn't miss. Didn't have his left tackle. Didn't have a left guard. Doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. They don't run the ball particularly well. And he had 30 points in the first half. This is one of those guys that checks all the boxes. He's getting better every week. He is on pace to be the greatest quarterback on first down in the history of the game. Vrabel's a more player-friendly version of Belichick, and Drake May is a more mobile version of Brady. You get an all-timer about every 4 or 5 years. I think we found one. Drake May.
That coming from Colin Cowherd was probably one of the greater things, because where everybody is sitting there talking absolute trash about the Patriots, it's mind-blowing. Okay? Like this one. Drake May is such an overrated fraud. New England Patriots still suck without Tom Brady. Cam Newton was the most overrated quarterback in the 2010s. Reason why the Patriots suck. Ooh, Drake May's overrated. Finns fan reacts to the Pats bullying the fuck out of the Giants. And I swore for the first time in a while. You know, the part that stings me is every single time I watch one of these, I have to wonder, is it really that bad? Is it really that much of a joke? Do you have to sit there and wonder, like, why the hate for the Patriots is real? I mean, I know anybody upon anyone can actually put together some good teams. You know, you can get the teams like the 1990 Buffalo Bills. Okay? The Bills in the 90s were by far some of the greater football teams. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and they lost 4 straight Super Bowls. Does that make them a bad team? No. It just makes them a team that can't get the job done. Now, when I'm sitting here, of course, looking at Patriots football, sure, we had 5 years of borderline trash. We made the playoffs in a couple. We wondered what was going to go on with our players. We wondered who was going to be running the team once Brady decided to leave and take his business to Tampa Bay. Signing Cam Newton was a positive. It didn't bear fruit. And then, of course, came Mac Jones, which, depending upon who you're talking to, there's an upside and a downside. Now, the upside, of course, is you look what he did his first year with Josh McDaniels. You look at what he did his second year, of course, with Matt Patricia and the other boob. And then you look at what he did with Bill O'Brien. Now, you also look at what he did in Jacksonville for the couple games that, you know, Trevino Lawrence got injured and he had to fill in. But look at what he's also done in San Francisco this year, filling in, I believe, 8 games for Brock Purdy. Goes 5-3. Even on the 3 losses, look like a stellar quarterback. Is there something we're missing? But you've got Drake May. And of course, Bill Belichick took the walk, went away. You went to a new coach, Gerard Mayo. He didn't feel right. I've said it on this podcast multiple times. Body language screams mountains. Okay? You didn't, like, if Marcus Jones made a run back of that 94-yarder that we watched, you know the one thing you wouldn't see? You wouldn't see Gerard Mayo running down the field. Do you know what we saw the second time this year? The first time Marcus Jones ran one back, you saw Mike Vrabel chasing it down. I believe it was against Miami. But you saw him running down the field because he was happy as a clam. When you watch the Marcus Jones run again, you will again see Mike Vrabel running down the field in excitement over a run back. That says it all. That is the coach that you need. That is the motivation. You have multiple motivators on this team. You have Drake May, who's a humble 23-year-old kid. Second year. Ready to go. Already looks like an all-star. Screaming at everybody, I'm an MVP. But being humble about it. You've got Mike Vrabel, who is doing everything he can, putting the right coaches into play, putting the right personnel in play, putting the right teammates in play. To do what? To give you a boost. And I'll even say this as an additive. Stephon Diggs is by far one of the greatest additions you could have done. Not only is he working with his quarterback, he's working with receivers, he's working with the tight ends, he's making things exactly what they need to be. He's showing the strength of a veteran leadership. If anybody else wants to come on here and pump rainbows that these guys are negative, they're bad, they're horrible, oh, the Patriots blow, they're not this, they've got a soft schedule. I looked at the Patriots' schedule. It's not as soft as you would think. And what's the benefit of their soft schedule? Well, here's what I can say about soft. I'm looking at the Giants, Buccaneers, Falcons, Browns, Steelers, Panthers. Just basically looking at everything that's going on. Then I'm switching over to Denver. Because where people are comparing everything that's going on, considering you've got Bo Nix, Broncos lose to the Colts by 1. Broncos lose to the Chargers by 3. Blow out the Bengals. Beat the Eagles by 4. They beat the Jets by 2. The Patriot team that beat the Jets by 13 points only lost to the Broncos by 2. The same Giants we just played on Monday Night Football and wiped a rabbit with 33-15. The Broncos beat them by 1. I mean, they beat the Cowboys by 20. They beat the Texans by 3. They beat the Raiders by 3. They beat the Chiefs by 3. They beat the Commanders in their weakened state by 1 point. If I'm looking at a soft team, it's the Broncos. They're probably a good team. They can move the ball. They can do everything they need to. But there's something about when I'm looking at them. The Cowboys game, okay, I'll give them that. The Chiefs that are beaten up, that are basically eyeballing everything, you beat them by 3 points. Okay, the Raiders team that is probably one of the worst teams in the NFL right now, and you beat them by 3 points. There was 17 points scored in that game alone. That was it. The Commanders beaten. Jayden Daniels not even there. The team is just beaten down horrible right now, and you beat them by 1 in overtime. In overtime. The Texans, who are 3-5, who, yes, have one of the most prominent defenses in the league, but a team that you still should have actually slapped around and called your daddy, only by 3. You beat the bag out of the Bengals by 25 points. Okay, you took on the best team in the league right now, in the Colts, and you lost by 1. You beat the Titans by 8. Okay. And the Chargers, you lost by 3. Some of these teams you should be walking on water with. But again, I said this last one, I'll say it now. Does anybody know how you get soft schedules? How do you know that these are the teams that are going to be soft scheduling? I'll state it why, and I'll state it as loud as I can. Okay? Nobody expected the Broncos to come out and sling the way they did this year. Nobody expected the Colts to come out and sling like they are this year. Nobody expected the Chiefs to be as bad as they are this year. Nobody expected the Eagles to be 8-4 on a downwind this year. Nobody expected the Commanders to be 3-9. The Panthers, by the way, as bad as we talk about them, they're 7-6. 7-6. The Saints are 2-10. The Giants are 2-11. The Vikings, who were supposed to walk away from Sam Darnold, put J.J. McCarthy in, and have a monstrous year, 4-8. Does anybody remember the rumblings before the year? Everybody was saying this was going to be a tough schedule for the Patriots. Everybody stated your problems are going to be the Raiders. They're going to be good. They got Pete Carroll now with Geno Smith. The Steelers, you're playing Aaron Rodgers and the way they're going. The Dolphins, they're going to be amazing. The Panthers are going to make something. The Bills are going to bounce you. Oh, the Saints are going to be tough. The Titans, they're on a comeback. The Browns. Well, they're the Cleveland Browns. The Falcons, that talent is amazing. The Buccaneers, they're always contenders. The Jets are going to be decently putting up points this year. The Bengals have their stretch to go. The Giants are young. But then again, they had Brian Daboll as a coach. They didn't have this waffle iron of, what the hell this guy's name is. Oh, Mike Kafka. I swear, I looked at photos of him during the game. He's another one. You're supposed to be filling in and doing things that are motivating the team, and you look like a wet noodle on the sideline. No personality. He's sitting there at the press conference. He was an absolute ass. What was one of the questions that he asked? Oh, why was Abdul not out there for the first couple of series? That was the coach's decision, my decision. Why did you make the decision? Just based on how we went during the week. It's a decision I wanted to make. Not a disciplinary? No, it was just my decision and not play him. There was a report that he missed part of or all a team event. Is that true? Just strictly my decision. You have probably one of the greatest players in Abdul, and you're not playing him. The question was, I imagine when you benched him the first time, you hoped the message would get through. The fact that it is now 2 weeks later, same exact thing again or something similar. Kafka comes back. We have great communication. He's one of my favorite players on the team. And that was one thing we talked about, and it was my decision not to play him. Well, why did it happen again? It's one of the things I decided to do. What do you mean that's one of the things you talked about? Just like I talked with Abdul, I talked with all our players. I talked with Abdul about this week and decided not to play him for the first 2 series. Strictly his decision not to play him. Why would you not play him in the first place? What is your reasoning? That is just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And there's points to where he's sitting at the podium, kind of like, if anybody's a wrestling fan, like when The Rock's talking about Rikishi, like way back he's just got this blank stare on his face. I did it because I wanted to. I did it for my reasons. Like, there were points that I was even listening to that I guess he had a phone on during one of the meetings, and he had a Bluetooth headset in, and the Bluetooth headset died. And all of a sudden, his phone started making noises because he was watching porn. I don't know if it's true or not. It's kind of funny if it is. Like, you're sitting in a room of dudes, listening to people talk about plays, listening to go about everything, and then all of a sudden, out of the corner, you just hear, "Oh, yeah, daddy," and you turn around, it's like, dude, what are you watching? It's like, hey, I'm here to learn about what we're doing with the Patriots. Why is she in that position? Wouldn't you also be embarrassed? I mean, you're sitting there, you get your earphone in, you're talking about everything going on, and then all of a sudden it's like moaning. wait a minute. Class am I in? Am I late? What's going on here? There are parts that make you wonder what did go on. And for a coach to sit there and tell you it's a game time decision, it's a decision I made, let me tell you something. If you're making the decision to stop one of your players, and it's one of the players that you love, you respect, you admire, you want him to play, he's one of your favorite players on the team. If you're benching him and it's going to hurt the team, why are you coaching? That's a question I'm asking. I want the best players on the field at all times. Okay? And if you really have to make a gutsy call of, oh, it was my decision, it was a game time decision, I decided to... No, stop, shut up, don't feed us that BS. Please do not. If that's your prerogative to go down that road, that is bull crap. Me as a coach, actually, screw it. The guy you're proceeding, Brian Daboll, is not making that judgment call. He's going to tell you there was an incident. We decided to not have him play. But when we notice to the fact that we're getting our butts kicked, we're putting him in. Brian Daboll was at least honest. There's something also about New York organizations. The Knicks. They beat the Celtics in they beat the Celtics in the playoffs. And then they go and lose. And what's the first thing they do? They fire Tom Thibodeau. Idiots. Tom Thibodeau is the first winning New York Knicks coach to get them anywhere in the playoffs. And you fire the guy. Wow, you dumb. You then go into the Jets. Hey, we're going to hire... what's his name there? The Robert Saleh. He's going to be our defensive mind. We're going to do everything, but we're going to get rid of his quarterback. We're going to get rid of his other quarterback. We're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to make this change, and then we're going to fire him. Hey, New York Giants. Brian Daboll gets you to the playoffs. But then you decide to actually give him trash. And what happens? Wait. Brian Daboll, you're fired. If I had my honest way of being a GM in this league, and no, I'm not being a coach GM, I'm just telling you. Very simple, very easy. If it's me, if I had to choose between firing Brian Daboll and firing Mike McDaniels, Brian Daboll's still my coach. Mikey's out of there. And it's not a biased thing. It's an honest thing. I still don't think Mike McDaniel brings any type of positivity except for looking completely clueless when he loses and then not having a brain cell to think about what he's saying after he wins. It's an everyday occurrence. But you know what motivates me that makes me laugh out loud? Is when you get videos that you can see afterwards from the Patriots. Of course, I'm trying to find my mouse. Okay, there are times when I sit there and every single time I see something from the New England Patriots, there is this.
Okay, you chose to be aggressive, and you chose to attack. Okay. Ellis, lights out. One clap.
That's not what I was expecting.
Okay, so fellas, y'all stepped up. Okay, you chose to be aggressive, and you chose to attack. Okay. Ellis, lights out. One clap. Marcus Jones, house call. One clap. Okay, this is going to be a combo platter. Left side of the line, okay? Stepping up. Yeah. Hold on, Benny and Videri, one clap. Yeah. Good. Okay, that's a hell of a job. Okay, Sean Booty, one clap. Okay, Kyle Williams, one clap. Okay, fellas, I appreciate you, man. You took the message, and you were willing to go and be a champion from front. Okay, we got to keep going, because now they get bigger and bigger. Okay, so they get bigger and bigger. Okay, Jelani, break them down. Proud to have you back.
Nah, hey, I love the brotherhood in here, and I'll ride with any of y'all any day, all right? So I love you guys and appreciate you guys. Hey, pass on 3. 1, 2, 3. Pass.
Okay, so fellas.
That is what is making this team successful. That's a coach that cares. That is a coach that will tell you, you did a good job. Let us tell you about it. Let us showcase it for you. Not just to him, but to everybody. Keyshawn Booty got a touchdown. What did he get? 1 clap. Williams got a touchdown. 1 clap. What did he say about Marcus Jones? Took it to the house? 1 clap. Gave props to the O-line for knowing that there were injuries and stepping up and being nothing but exactly what you need to be to protect your quarterback. That is motivation, and that is what is not going to stop anybody for the New England Patriots. The reason they have 10 wins is that man right there, Mike Vrabel. It starts from the top and it goes down. The draft, the everything, just the main piece of why they are gelling in the manner they are. First off, Josh McDaniels making very good calls, very good pieces, and making everything what they need. You don't get any better than that. That's the expectation. That's what you need to see. That is exactly in every direction what you need to experience, especially as a coach. And that's what I want to continue seeing for the remainder of the year. You've got 4 more games. And 2 of them are going to be really tough because the Bills are not going to give up. The Ravens are going to be a challenge, especially with Lamar Jackson being back. The Jets, it's going to depend if they play their starters. Oh, wait. The Dolphins as the last game. Again, depends upon if you play the starters. But who knows? I don't think the Dolphins are even anywhere to be barking. Standings right now, the Dolphins are 5-7. The Jets are 3-9. The Bills are 8-4. So even if the Bills beat the Patriots, they'd be 9-4, and the Patriots would still be 11-3. The Ravens are 6-6. So there you go. There's one team at 500. There's one with a winning record, and the other two have losing records all over the place. By the way, does anybody remember when the Dolphins actually had like 9 wins, 10 wins a season? And now here they are, 5-7. Is that bad? Is that really bad? Oh. Well, I'll tell you. From all of us to all of you. Oh. What a Patriots win. What hitting. So, they're off on a bye. So, we'll talk about what the expectation is actually going into the Bills game. This will be coming up probably in a couple days. We might talk a little bit of Red Sox because I know there've been trades. There've been like some stuff, so we want to get the winter meeting stuff done. More Bruins, more Celtics, more stuff. But to everybody, hopefully you had a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Thanksgiving. We will talk to you guys soon. Please, be well, be merry, be everything on it. And above all things, thank you for joining Boston Concessions. We are a Boston-based podcast talking about Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, and Patriots, and we are a part of the SSBN network, small state, big network. Boys down in Rhode Island are beauties, I swear to God. Go listen to SSBN or SSBT, small state, big takes. You can find them on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter as well at Boston Concessions. And anybody who actually gets a listen to this, do me a favor. Go follow me and bump me on TikTok. We want to get 50 TikTokers. Why do we want to get 50 TikTokers? Because right now I just went live on YouTube. The episode's going to be live in the morning on Spotify. And to kick it up a notch, we actually went live on X. So we were doing that. But in order for me to go live on TikTok, we do have to be at 50 followers. So, if you can grant the love, give the love and everything like that, share, state how badly we are, or anything in between, it would be amazing. But until we meet again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here, given the likes, given the follows, given the everything that goes on. We will see you again. Take care, everybody.